Hello everyone, welcome to data structure class. In today's video, I am going to explain dynamic memory allocation. This is the concept which allocates the memory dynamically. So, what is the difference between static and dynamic memory allocation? In the static memory allocation, uh, if I take an example of integer array of 10, so that I have allocated 10 into integer holds 2 bytes, so that 10 into 2, 20 bytes of memory allocated. uh, During execution, if I need few more bytes, that time it is not possible. But whereas in dynamic memory allocation, we can increase or decrease the allocated memory by adding or deleting some element in the arrays. That will be done by making use of dynamic memory allocation. So how to perform dynamic memory allocation? For that, we have four function. One is malloc, second one is realloc, calloc, third one realloc, fourth one free. So what is this malloc? Malloc is the first function. This will allocate the memory uh, to the structures, whereas array calloc is used to allocate the memory to the array. Then realloc is the function which increase or decrease the uh, memory that are allocated during calloc and malloc by adding or deleting the elements from the structure or arrays. Then free will return the uh, memory held by the pointer. So calloc and malloc will not return the value by their own. In order to return the values, we make use of free function. That will that will free the that will release the pointer that is associated with a particular memory address. Okay, so first we begin with the malloc. Malloc, this will this will allocate the specified amount of memory. If the memory is available, that time it will print that block will be allocated, else it will return a null value. The syntax will be data type. uh, Data type, it can be return type with the pointer that will pointer to the base address. Okay, then it is a return type. Data type, most of the time I make use of the wide star because it is common to all the data structures. Then malloc, then this will specify the size of an structure. Okay, so in this example I am taking the size of int. Actually we are applying malloc for the most of the cases, we apply for the structure. So that time you can specify size of if I'm using struct student, then you have to specify size of struct then student. Okay, then this will define a structure return value or the pointer. Then next one, realloc. Realloc will alloc will allocate the memory to the array, and it always starts from the zeroth location. Then if the memory is allocated, it will give the block will be allocated, else it returns a null value as of the malloc. Then the syntax will be x equal to calloc size comma size of int. So size will define the size of an array. So if I specified int a of 10, then the 10 elements will be allocated here. 10 into size of int is 2, so total 20 will be assigned here. Okay, so total 20 memory block will be created. So if 5 elements are there, into size of int is 2, 5 into 2 10. If 10 are there, 10 into size of int is 2, 10 into 2 is 20 bytes of memory will be allocated. Then realloc function, it will increase or decrease the allocated memory from the malloc or calloc. If the memories can be extended, it can extend, else it will we can make use of deleting the allocated memory. So if the existing allocated memory need to be extend, the pointer will not be changed. Means that the block is already allocated, I want to add few more bytes to it, that time initial pointer to that block remains same. If we can't extend it, if the existing allocated memory cannot be extended, that is the final one, then the new block will be created and copy this old values into the new block. The new block will be deleted. Okay, so at that time the pointer whichever holding the earlier old block will be shifted to the new block. Then uh, syntax will be like this. So realloc will copy the values from make the values changes from p to s. Okay, so these two will resemble in these two statement in terms of symbol. Okay, free will as I told during allocating memory by making use of malloc and calloc, they will not return their own, so you have to return by making use of free. The pointer will get free that is allocated for the particular address. So syntax is very simple, that is free of pointer. Then representation of linear arrays in a memory. So linear array, the array itself indicates it is an homogeneous element. So elements are stored in a sequential manner. So how to find the size of an array? Size of an array will be if I consider a block. mm, so in the array always starts with the uh, zeroth location to up to number of elements. If I stored 5 element, a of 0 first element, a of 1 2 element, a of 3 4 element, a of 4 fourth, a of 4 is fifth element. So that 0 to 4 5 elements are stored. So what is this LB lower bound? Lower bound means if I take the initially array location is 0, that time LB equal to 0. Then how to find the length? Length will be what I told, A from 0 to A to 4. Total 5 elements are there. Upper bound will be 4. Lower bound is 0. 4 minus 0, 4 plus 1. So we'll get 5 element. Okay, once again I will explain. If I consider array is of 5 element, then uh, how to find the here 0 1 2 3 4. So index will be or subset will be 0 to 4. Lower bound is 0, upper bound is 4. Then length will be calculated out. Length means number of elements in the array, so calculated by using ub. Upper bound is 4 minus lower bound is 0. 4 minus 0 is 4 plus 1, so that 5. That will give the number of elements of an array. Then similarly if lb equal to 1, then length will be upper bound. So lb is nothing but here we start from the, instead of taking 0, if you start from 1 1 2 3 4 5, so upper bound is 5, lower bound is 1, then upper bound will be the length of an array. So then linear array with the base address that will be calculated. For example, if you are in the first address 1000, how to move to next address, how to move to next value, that will be added for making use of the base address. For that we have in a formula. So location with the linear array with the k number. For example, if I want to get the 0 1 2, so k I want to fetch this element, that time I'm going to provide k value is 2. If lower bound is 0, that time it becomes 2. If lower bound is 1, that time it consider 3. Okay, then base address. So whenever we allocate the memory, always we allocate with a particular base address. Like while explaining the arrays and queue that I have given initially 2047. The structure example I have given. Whenever I start with the allocation, always it contain a base address. For example, if I taken base address is 2046 plus w. W is the number of words per memory cell. Okay, so for example here if I taken from one integer, that will taken 2 byte. If I taken float, that time it become 4. So value word get k, number of words per memory cell will be taken. Then k is the point where the location minus lower bound value. Lower bound is if I taken 1, it is 1. Okay, here if I consider lower bound is 1, it is 1. Then k will be the which element I'm going to get, that is 1 2 3 3. 3 minus 1, then width into uh, number of words per memory cell into, if I have taken 2, then it is 2. If I have taken 4, that time it becomes 4. So total it will give increasing value of the next one. So it will each time the memory gets shifted from one block to another block sequentially. Then one dimensional array. So as I told, it is an just like by using malloc function, we are allocating the values. If it is allocated, this will display the block, else it will display null pointer. So it is two-dimensional array. So how to represent a one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array, how it will get shifted, that will be explained here. So it is an two-dimensional array. So first subscript indicate that it is an row, it is an column. So 3 row, 5 columns. Then how to access them? So first time it will get increased by x of I is equal to initial value into the row value into size of integer. So that will get shifted one by one. Then similarly, it will go to jth value, j value into side of int. Then we get x of ij. If we have taken only one subscript, then if I multiply the equation, it will get move from one place to another place. Initially, first bit will be identified for making use of x of 0, 0. Then this will be obtained from x of 0, 1. So if the pointer will get shifted, we can access each of the element. Thank you. Okay, so this completes the first chapter of the first module. These are just a review part of that what people learned in C programming. Actually the main syllabus starts from the arrays. It is also there in your syllabus, but the first chapter just he has given a review of what all things you learned in C. Tomorrow in the next video I'm going to start with the arrays and its operation, how to insert the element into array, how to traverse through the array, how to delete the element from the array. These all concept we study. Then after that third chapter is string. Okay, in the string we are using like again the same operation, how to traverse through the string, how to find the length of the string, how to read the string in the reverse order. These all concept we studied in the third chapter. So the first module, it contains three chapters. First one is review of uh, the C programming. In the second chapter arrays, third chapter string. So this completes the first chapter. So go through each of the concept. Whenever if you have any doubts in tomorrow and next interaction class, I'm going to solve it. First go through the videos. Then if you have any queries, uh, if you have any queries, that will be solved. Thank you.